குருட்ட போய் வேதாந்தம் உருப்படியா புரிஞ்சுண்டா மோக்ஷம் கிடைக்கும். So that means between other sadhanas and moksha there is no definite vyapti, there is no definite relationship, whereas between jnanam and moksha the relationship is definite. Yatra jnanam vartate tatra mokshaha avasyam vartate, and therefore it is called sakshat sadhanam. Compared to what? Anya sadhanebhyaha. Compared to, inge panchami apeksharthe, anya sadhana apekshaya. So anya sadhana means it can be karma yoga, it can be upasana, it can be ashtanga yoga. A person might be expert in yama niyama asana pranayama pratyahara dharana dhyana samadhi. Up to samadhi he may go, but still as long as atma jnanam is not there, moksha cannot be attained. Dhatur lokas sadhito va tatahkim. There is a anatmashri vigarhana stotram. Vishnor loko vikshito va tatahkim, shambhor lokas shasito va tatahkim, yena swatma naiva sakshat krito bhut. You might have reached Brahma loka, you might have peeped into Vishnu loka, you might have ruled over Shiva loka. So what? As long as you don't know yourself, all those visits, global visits, because other world, that also tatahkim. Vanyir jagdho lajavadva tatahkim. So the fire is eaten. Adu edo fire eating bird kuda pannudhu, adanaala moksam varumana. So fire can be eaten, and abdhihi padbhyam langhito va tatahkim. The ocean has been crossed by walking over the water. You may do all these things. Tatahkim yena swatma naiva sakshat krito bhut. 19 ஸ்லோகம் இது மாதிரி எழுதுறார். In each one he gives big list. இதனால என்ன, அதனால என்ன, இது ஒண்ணுதான் உருப்படியினார். So therefore anya sadhana apekshaya mokshaha eva sakshat sadhanam, and that too eka sadhanam. Now comes in the second line drishtanta. நான் சொன்னேன் இல்லையோ, for every idea there is an example. What is the example? Pakasya vanyavadu. You have to supply sakshat eka sadhanam. So for paka means what? Cooking. Vannihi means agnihi is eka sadhanam. Agni is the only means of cooking. Don't say microwave and all. That also is what? Agni tattvam. Remember, whether you cook in this particular fashion or that particular fashion, ultimately heat is transferred in one way or the other. Therefore agnihi eva sakshat sadhanam. But for this purpose you might have so many other things. A vessel is necessary. Perhaps you may pour some water, and you might have a particular place. You might have so many other things. Gas line is only agnihi. Normally we give the example of removing darkness. Light alone is the only means of removing darkness. But here Shankaracharya gives Agni alone is the only means of cooking. Cooking example is given because everybody knows it very well. Generally we are often thinking of that only. அதனால எப்போதும் மனசுல எது இருக்குமோ அதே உதாரணம் சொல்லிவிட்டார். பிரேக்ஃபாஸ்ட் முடிஞ்சா லஞ்ச் என்ன மெனு கேப்பா, நைட்டுக்கு என்ன பண்ண போறா, இங்க இருந்து பார்த்துட்டு இருப்பா. அதுக்கு தான் நாங்க அதை போட சொன்னேன். The very purpose of putting that is only that. Just joke, okay, don't take seriously. So, vannivat pakasya sadhanam, sakshat sadhanam yatha tatha jnanam vina mokshaha na siddhyati. Without knowledge, moksha is never possible. You have to remember that Upanishad shloka, yatha yada charmavadakasham veshtayishyanti manavaha tatha devam avijnaya dukkhasyanto bhavishyati. Bhavishyati. You can get moksha without knowledge only under one condition. And what is that? You should roll the akasha like a mattress. If you can do that, you will get moksha without knowledge. என்ன அர்த்தம்னா, இது பண்ண முடியாது, அதே மாதிரி அதுவும் பண்ண முடியாது. This is the famous shloka. I will not ask you. It is Shvetashvatara Upanishad. You would not have seen that. Mokshaha na siddhyati. Continuing. Avirodhitaya karma na vidyam vinivartayet. Vidya vidyam nihantyeva tejastimira sanghavat. In the previous shloka, he said, knowledge alone will give moksha. And alone is called emphasis, avadharanam. And avadharanayaha tatparyam kim. So knowledge alone will give moksha na anartham. Knowledge gives moksha. Knowledge alone will give moksha. What is the difference? Knowledge gives moksha sonna, other things also can give moksha, knowledge also. But knowledge alone sonna, what does it mean? Others cannot. This is the evakarasya tatparyam. Jnanadi eva sonna, evakarasya tatparyam anyavyavritihi. எல்லா இடத்துலயுமே ஏவகாரஸ்ய தாத்பர்யம் அன்யவ்யாவிருத்திஹி. நீ மட்டும் வான்னு அர்த்தம். பார்க்குள்ள வராது, எங்கோ அங்கேயே உட்கார்ந்துருங்க அர்த்தம். தட் இஸ் கால்ட் அன்யவ்யாவிருத்திஹி. பார்க்குள்ள வர வேண்டாம். Similarly, jnanadi eva kaivalyam means anya sadhananam vyavrittihi. And all anya sadhanas put together, Shankaracharya calls as karma. All other sadhanas other than jnanam come under karma. So that means what? Karma yoga is karma. Upasana karma. You may ask in upasana what karma is there. Chumma thane ukandirgan. You may ask. Remember, there also the mind is thinking of certain particular object, and it is called a manasam karma. In Ashtanga yoga also, physical body, mind, sense organs, etc. do a particular karma. Therefore, all of them come under karma only. And here he says, all these karmas cannot give moksha. Why karma cannot give moksha? Because he says, karma cannot give moksha because karma cannot remove ignorant. Karma cannot give moksha because karma cannot remove ignorance. Jnana can give moksha because jnana removes ignorance. As I said in the morning class, ignorance is the virus which has caused bhavarogam. Bhavarogam ara veru marundede. Ara marunde kadayadu. Anga vera enno marundella sollindu irukka adu vayama. Inge marundu means jnanam alone. So karma avidyam na nivartaye. Karma will not remove ignorance. Why will not karma remove ignorance? He gives the reason, avirodhitaya. Because karma is not opposed to ignorance. One can remove the other one only if those two are virodhis. Enemies alone cancel each other. Friends will reinforce each other, whereas enemies will cancel each other. One can negate the other. He will give the example later. Even in our own experience, what do we see? When two people are enemies, you will find that they cannot stay in one place. Aval or room la potu paakalam. Room e poidum. So therefore, they cannot stay together in one place. When one comes, the other one automatically goes away. And similarly here also, karma and avidya are not paraspara virodhi. Why? Because if you analyze, we can find that karma is born out of ignorance. Karma is born out of ignorance. Not directly, but indirectly. How? We have seen in the morning that because of ignorance, I don't know that I am the paripurna aham, but I become a parichinna aham, a limited I. As paripurna aham, I am akarta, I cannot do anything. And I need not do anything because I don't have kamas or desires also. So as I, the purna aham, I do not have any desires. Therefore, I need not do karmas to fulfill my desires. And even if I want to do karma, I cannot because I am sarvagataha, achalaha, sthanuhu, avikaraha. I cannot do any karma. But when I don't know my original nature, the purna aham is mistaken as apurna aham. And once I become apurna aham, I end up in desires. Because as incomplete I want to complete myself. As I said in the morning, either by getting something, pravritti or nivritti. And therefore, ajnanam creates apurnatvam. Apurnatvam creates kamaha. Kamaha creates karma. Ajnanam creates apurnatvam. sense of finitude. Apurnatvam creates desire, and desire creates karma. Therefore, karma's father is kamaha, and kama's father is apurnatvam, and apurnatvam's father is avidya. Therefore, avidya is great grandfather, or avidya being strilingam, we should say great grandmother of karma. And can mother and child be inimical at any time? And therefore, both will only reinforce each other. They will never negate each other. And therefore, karma reinforces kama, kama reinforces ajnana. The more a person is active, the more ignorance becomes well reinforced. So when they are flooring, they will take something and they reinforce the flooring. Similarly, every action we do is only reinforcing ignorance. Therefore, karma can never eliminate ignorance. So that's why they say, karma bandhaya bhavati. It is only vidya mokshaya bhavati, it is said. Therefore, avirodhitaya, since they are not enemies, avidyam na vinivartayet. Then what will eliminate? Vidya avidyam nihanti. Knowledge alone removes ignorance. Anga nihanti eva irukku. That eva should be added to vidya. Vidya eva avidyam nihanti. Knowledge alone removes ignorance. And you can put evakara there also. Vidya avidyam nihanti eva. Knowledge definitely removes. Knowledge alone removes, and knowledge certainly removes. Nissamshayam nihanti. Up to this is the main idea. And now comes the example. And what is the example? Tejaha timira sanghavat. Just as light alone, tejaha means prakashaha. Light alone removes. Nihanti, you have to supply. Tejaha nihanti. What? Timira sanghavati, a mass of darkness, pitch darkness, thick darkness. Tamil gum virutungrala, and the gum gardan sangha nartham. Therefore, the pitch darkness, because our ignorance also is so thick and dense, and therefore he uses the word timira sangha. Of course, you would have heard the word timiraha in another meaning also, ajnana timira andhasya. So there we take timira as cataract, but timira also means darkness, because here also timira creates darkness in the eye. Outside also darkness makes the eye incapable of seeing things. The only difference is cataract is here closer to eyes, darkness is outside. Continuing. Parichinna iva jnanat tanna chesati kevalaha swayam prakashate hyatma megha payem shuna amshumaniva. So there may be some reading difference here. In some books it is avachinnaha. In some book it is parichinnaha. Both readings are correct. If there is any other reading like avachanna or parachanna or something is there, other readings are wrong. I heard that parichanna in some books is written, they say. So in Ramakrishna Mission book, parichanna is there. You have to make it parichinna. Avachinna also is okay. So in the previous shlokas, Shankaracharya said that karma cannot give moksha. Why? Because karma cannot remove ignorance. Jnanam can give moksha because jnanam can remove ignorance. So naturally the question comes, why should we remove ignorance for moksha? For moksha, why can't we go in for some other thing? Why can't we say getting moksha by going to Vaikuntha? Appadiyana, there is no question of getting any knowledge. There is no question of removing any ignorance. We have to only please the Lord, and the Lord santushtaha san, rathena swarna rathena Vishnu dutaha adaha agachanti, and this person bhakta will go and climb, and then he will be taken to Vaikuntha. Dikante jnanam. So therefore it must be very clear that ignorance is the cause of samsara, must be clear. Which Shankaracharya has not said till now. I have given you to remove the suspense, but Shankaracharya shows that here only. So the idea is samsara is a sense of limitation. And a sense of limitation cannot go by any other method. Whether it is going to Vaikuntha, I may be in front of Sakshad Vishnu Bhagavan, and Vishnu Bhagavan may be infinite, but I am what? I am finite only. So I am only marana dharma. Finite means what? Mortal, subject to asti, jayate, vardhate, viparinamate, etc. Therefore, going to someone who is muktaha doesn't make me muktaha. If another person is rich, it does not mean I am rich. In fact, in front of a rich person, I will feel more poor only. Similarly, going to Vaikuntha or Kailasa doesn't help, because the problem is centered on I, and therefore the solution also must be centered on I. I am unhappy is the problem. I am limited is the problem. I am frustrated is the problem. I am mortal is the problem. All problems are centered on I. Therefore, the rectification should also be centered on I. Therefore, I have to complete me, who am now in incomplete form. And unfortunately, an incomplete I cannot be made into complete I in any method. Because incomplete by a process of change cannot become complete. Incomplete by a process of change can become another incomplete thing. better incomplete thing. 100லேந்து 1000, 1000லேந்து 1,00,000. It is another incomplete only. And therefore Shankaracharya says, if you are incomplete, there is no hope. Because you will ever be incomplete. The hope is only under one condition. What is that? You are already complete. And because of ignorance, you have a feeling that I am incomplete. The incompleteness must be a notion, a sense, a feeling caused by ignorance. And if that is the cause, then there is a solution, that is ignorance can be removed and completeness can be achieved. On the other hand, if incompleteness is a fact, fact can never be changed. And therefore here he says, parichinnaha iva ajnana. So because of ignorance there is a sense of limitation, and this alone is the cause of samsara. Samsara means dukkham, and therefore dukkha nivritti is possible by paricheda nivritti, and paricheda nivritti is possible by ajnana nivritti only. Dukkha nivritti is possible by paricheda nivritti, which is possible by ajnana nivritti only. Thus he establishes ajnanam in this shloka. Exact details we will see in the next class. Hari Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.